Evening, guys. Going to kick this thing off. Obviously, this is the Project 2000 launch call. First and foremost, I want to thank you for taking the time out. I will not take too much of your time up. This is going to be a very brief overview of what we're doing, why we're excited, why we're fired up. A little bit about me, a little bit about the product, a little bit about the business and where we're taking this. So what we're calling our project, what we're moving forward is Project 2000. And what we're going to do over the next 90 days is really launch this brand, really launch this business, and I'm going to try and explain in the simplest terms exactly what we're doing. And for me, this is a massive opportunity. Okay, and a little bit about my background. I got my start in a nutrition company, and with that, I saw the ability to make a lot of money. Okay, the ability to legitimately see people making great incomes in that business, but always kept my ears to the ground, always looking and keeping my eyes on the prize for what was out there, and that wasn't for me, and found this business, OrganoGold. And I got my start with a Skype call, and most of you are seeing this probably for the first time tonight. You probably got a call, check this out, you might have been sampled with the product, and you're probably thinking, what's going on? Is it too good to be true? Are these stories true? Is it one of those things? Okay, all these things that I first said when I got started, and how as a company in such a short amount of time got so many success stories. You've only got to look at businessfromhome.org. OrganoGold, the company that we're a part of and launching, is everywhere to be seen. They've got 6 of the top 10 earners now in the industry of network marketing within OrganoGold. And for me, when I got offered this opportunity, it's something that I just could not turn down. And for me, for a company that's only been going 6 years, why and how have they moved so fast? That was something that I needed to know. That was something that I wanted to look into. But wind that back a little bit, when I was first approached by this, I was told by my sponsor that he had found the greatest product for network marketing. And at the time, I was like, well, what is it? I was thinking, is it a crazy skincare regime? Is it a crazy juice? What? All these things that you see in the network marketing field. And when he said to me, it's coffee, I was a little bit deflated, because at the time I wasn't a huge coffee drinker. And for me, that's why be open-minded tonight, because I definitely had a consumer perspective, and I believe that if I didn't drink it, then no one did. And for me, that makes me think of a famous quote by Warren Buffett, who said, what you like to do should be a hobby, but what the world does, you should make that your business. And right now, it's apparent to see that everybody's jumping on board with this coffee culture, coffee, green tea. It's definitely a habit that's going on and will be around forever. And when we got started, okay, we got started very, very slow, to be fair. I already had another business, and I kind of dipped my feet in just to see what was going on. And when I got started with 10 boxes just like this. And at the time, I just started sampling out the product, started sampling it out, and all I wanted to do was get some feedback on how did it taste, how did it make people feel, because I didn't want people to know, number one, that I was doing another business, and number two, that it was network marketing. I wanted this to be a coffee business, okay? And I started giving away free samples, and I got great response for pretty much 10 samples that I give away, or 10 boxes. 5 wanted to know more about the business, and 1 or 2 wanted to know what I was doing, what was it about, and how can I get involved. And I had never been a big product guy. I've been in and around network marketing now for 2 or 3 years, but never been a massive product guy, always led with the opportunity. But this, the universal product of caffeine and coffee and a habit like this made sense, because I didn't have to educate no one on it. People already did it. And this made me realize very quickly that anybody who touched this opportunity could make it work. Okay, I use an example of Julie, one of my customers, who the very next day, after purchasing a box of coffee, she gave me a call and she wanted 5 more boxes. So for me, what's appealing with this is everybody is always sharing and socializing around coffee. And our company has generated massive success in what's called Wave 1, and that's just us getting started. That's just getting our brand out there, getting people using the product, okay? And we did that with a very limited product line, okay? At the start, we had a mocha, a latte, and a black coffee, and we had no network marketers within the business. We had people like Stephen Ronda Martin, Josie Ardone, David Nwanitie, and they built the business to where it is today from a sample-based methodology. And that means simply giving away free samples and in return getting some feedback. Very big business, a very simple business. And through that sample-based methodology, the company grew. The company grew very, very fast. 2008, when it got started, in its very first year, it did 2 million in sales. 2009, 9 million. 2010, 47. 2011, 152, and 2012, 300 million in sales. And right now, last year, the company did just under 350 million in sales. But when that's not even scratching the surface, because the company is expected and wanting to do 600 plus million per month. Okay, this will be the next billion-dollar brand. Okay, there's companies dwarfing us in size. Don't get me wrong. Okay, the company's only 6 years old. You've got companies like Herbalife, Amway, Nu Skin, Juice Plus. All these companies have been around for years, and they've made it happen. So, listen, you've got people in the business like Marianne Node who had no experience but love the product. Okay, they love the reishi mushroom, which I'm going to explain a little bit about later on. But right now, Wave 2 started, and right now, people are looking for an opportunity. But let me take you through why I now see why coffee and network marketing, what would a part of word of mouth marketing, makes sense. And many of you have probably heard about Organa Gold. Okay, you've been sampled, talked to, text, whatever, to get you on this call, and the seasoned networkers on the call are probably thinking, well, how the hell do you make money selling coffee? Because that's the exact same question I had when I got started. But what I've recognized is, unlike other network products, whether that's cosmetics, nutritional products, whatever, okay, it doesn't require a sales pitch. Okay, people are already educated and probably in the habit of doing this. It doesn't require me to sell you on the idea of coffee drinking. People already do it. So what I figured out quickly is that people don't spend money on things they need. Okay, you might need nutritional products, you might need skincare, okay, but they spend money on things they want. And every single morning, people are waking up and they're desiring their favorite cup of coffee. Okay, and that's why our results are so strong. Our results are there to see. Okay, don't take my word for it. Okay, I got given this Gold magazine, and there's just success story after success story of people who made it happen in the other countries where this is launched. And right now in the UK, we're looking at the very first launch correctly done in the UK, and I'm pumped and I'm excited for that, because number one, coffee is not a fad. Okay, coffee will never go away. And number two, you've got companies like Starbucks who have made it acceptable. Me and Ben sat through, we've been in Starbucks today building the business, and listen, £2, £3, £4 for a drink, and people are spending that time after time. And what Starbucks have done, they've created what's called the gourmet coffee industry. And most people ask me the question, well, what's the gourmet coffee industry? Yes, it's the taste, but more importantly, it's the price. Okay, and £2, £3, £4 a cup, it's now socially acceptable to go out and charge that. Okay, we can offer a product to the marketplace that is much, much more competitive. You've got companies like McDonald's, who started selling coffee. Okay, you've got McCafe now. You see that everywhere in McDonald's, heavily marketed stuff. McDonald's had already been selling coffee since 1977. It was an inexpensive add-on. Okay, and they never saw the potential in that. But guess what? They looked what Starbucks were doing, saw they were making billions per year. So they rebranded, remarketed, changed the cups, changed the price, upped it. And now every single quarter, McDonald's are moving tens of millions of revenue through coffee. Okay, you've now got Wi-Fi in there. People are hosting meetings in there. It's totally changed their market. You've got companies like Burger King who followed suit with the iced mocha, and they've recently just launched a brand new latte range. Ben gave me a heads up today that KFC are now really heavily marketing Seattle's best coffee on Facebook. So you've even got Costa vending machines. Me and Ben also saw a drive-through coffee. So right now, this habit is big. And for me, it's not only the adults that are drinking it. Coffee is now cool. Okay, we've got a lot of rugby boys on the call who have a big coffee drinking culture, and right now people are going down there. Okay, instead of meeting down at the pub, they're meeting down at the coffee shop, and this is something that we want to definitely get amongst, because we're hitting a market that's big and it's growing. Coffee achieved a growth rate 7 to 8 times that of the British economy last year. That to me shows that it's recession proof. Okay, tobacco, alcohol, coffee drinking will never stop being purchased because of the habits. And right, I truly believe now that the UK is definitely a coffee drinking culture, and it's moving that way. All these companies have figured out that coffee is a commodity, and it's actually the second most traded commodity next to oil. The Washington Post published an article last month regarding that coffee was now a safer bet than oil and gold as an investment. So right place, right time with this, and every single market that the company's gone into, they've made happen. And for me, that means we're not guinea pigs. We're not testing this out. This thing's real. This thing's working. And we've just got to start building that brand, okay, and do that from a part-time basis to start with. And what I did was I stopped listening to my mom, my stepdad, my granddad, other networkers who told me that, listen, they've got this better gig, this is better, this is better. And I listened to what the CEOs, Howard Schultz, the CEOs of Starbucks, Warren Buffett said. And when I looked at what these guys were doing, these companies were doing, listen, you put all those together and you've got a clue. And that's exactly why I've launched in the coffee industry. And I've had some great success. Started 10 months ago. I started with 6 people in my front room, showing the plan, showing the opportunity, sharing the coffee. And we've turned that 6 into over 700 people now. And right now, the purpose of this call is that we're getting leaders involved, as you've probably seen all over social media, and this thing's moving. And what you've got with this is what's called first movers advantage. So you've got an opportunity here to get in right at the very beginning, right at the launch. And right now, professionals are taking a look at this, okay? And it's all relevant, this, okay? Whether you want to make that part-time income, whether you want to make that full-time income, whether you're like myself, who wants to create wealth, not only for me, but for other people. Listen, we can't guarantee anything. I'm not going to stand here and say, listen, we can definitely get you this and that, but it's all performance income. And for me, that's the best source of income. It's all based on my effort, and I pick my value, what I want to bring forward. And if you're willing to follow a system and you're willing to be coachable, anything is possible, because there's no roof on your income. There's no cap. You can go all the way to the top with this, and it's totally uncapped. 3 years ago, I was working at Lot Lane Gym, making £5 an hour. I now make 5 figures per month, every single month residual. And for me, I'm a normal average kid who went to university, came back, couldn't find any work, and made this happen. And what you're going to see now is these are the products. Right now in the UK, we've got a decent product range. We've got the black coffee, the latte, the mocha, the hot chocolate, the black ice. We've got green and red teas. We've even got the espresso pods now that fit into your Nespresso machines. We've also got the capsules like this. And this, as you can see here, is what makes our products different to every other coffee out there. You're probably thinking, well, what's making this product that little bit different? What's that little niche? And every single one of our products contains 100% certified organic Ganoderma. Okay, I've only just learned how to say it. I am not an expert on the herb, but all I know is it allows the body to perform the way it's supposed to perform. It's the natural treasure of China. Do your own research, okay, and try it out. One thing that I can say with this is, listen, try the product and get a testimonial. That's the greatest thing about this product, is I don't need to explain anything. You can just go and experience it for yourself. And it's an affordable product. And what they've done, as I've said, I've always been in and around nutrition, and I always knew that people do, even though we do have pills, people don't always necessarily like to take pills. But if you can take the health component of this superfood, infuse it into drinks that people do every single day, you can't smell it, taste it, or see it in the product. That's genius, because every single day, not only are you marketing to a habit, you're making that health component there, and that's making it even stronger. In the States, they've got more and more products. They've got toothpaste, body creams that all contain this Ganoderma. But from a system standpoint, I'm going to wrap this thing, get this thing going. It's from a system standpoint, it's great having a brand new product. It's great having this market launch, but how are we getting that to the marketplace? How are we getting attention on building that brand? And what we do is give away free samples. That's how the business has worked. And I want to give you a few justification why that works. Look at Facebook. Okay, Facebook worked off an email link free referral. They have now the largest database of people ever. You've got companies like AOL. When I was a kid, AOL gave away free CDs for their internet provider, and You've only got to look around, and for me, that's very simple to do, okay? You learn some very simple questions to ask. The 4 questions are this: do you or anyone you know drink coffee or tea at least occasionally? The answer always yes. Number 2, how do you drink it? Is it black coffee? Is it latte? Is it green tea? The 3rd question, what brand do you drink? Is it Starbucks? Is it Maxwell House? Is it Nescafe? The 4th question, which you might think is daft, is when was the last time that brand paid you for drinking or recommending it? The answer will always be never, and all you do then is you give them a free sample of the coffee that paid you for recommending it. And all I found is when I give this coffee away, okay, and I follow up correctly, I get customers and I get people wanting to know more about the business, and there's no need for high-level trainings. There's no need for product information. You let people try it, and in return get some quality feedback, and that's the simplicity of the business. That's why when I looked at it, I realized that anybody could make this happen, because every company has a starting point. Apple, Coca-Cola, Red Bull, all these major brands started somewhere. You only have to look at what Red Bull did when they started their marketing campaign. You look at the company now, they're all over the world. They sponsor Formula 1 race teams and all this, and they started with 0 marketing budget. But what they did was they used to go to the race meets, give the pit staff free Red Bull, give the drivers Red Bull. Guess what? Supply and demand. People want to know, where do we get more of this stuff? And that ties into the 2 things that we do, okay? 2 things that we do as business partners. As if you're coming in from a business builder standpoint, there's 2 things you do, and there's 2 things that we do as a company. Number 1 is we build a community of coffee drinkers. We build a community of people who like the product. There's a reason why McDonald's and Starbucks and Costa do so well. They've got multiple distribution points and people going to those every single day. That's what we're trying to do with this. We want people to know just how good this brand of coffee is. Remember, we're in 35 plus countries now, okay, but still room for so much growth. And coffee drinkers are on every single country, every single continent, excuse me, and that will never stop. Okay, the second thing that we do is we recruit and we enroll entrepreneurs and business builders. The fact of the matter is, so we can build that community even bigger. Okay, and again, it's all relative. Whatever you want to get out of that, it's all performance driven. We are the most network generation ever. Look at your Facebook, look at your LinkedIn, Twitter. Everybody's on the smartphone now. And now more than ever, just look at through just the amount of stuff that goes on mine, that we've never been more connected now than we are today. And from that, the ability to build the business is that little bit easier. You look at companies like Amway, Herbalife, all these companies that you look at the top earners, pretty much it's the older end. Whereas with this, you've got the ability to network products with people of the younger generation or young at heart, who it's a much more simpler product and everybody's already doing it. And we've already got networks pre-made. So for me, you're going to see this young generation just boom because we're already networked. Okay, advertising doesn't work like it used to. Okay, you know who looks at billboards anymore? People are too busy texting while they're driving. YouTube's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 skip ad, and these things go on now. And companies are starting to recognize that word of mouth works. You listen to your friends, what they wear, what they're doing, hairstyles, all this stuff. You listen to your friends, but the whole foundation of what we're doing is retail. Okay, we want to get as much attention on this as we can. And with those 2 activities explained, there's actually 7 ways that we get paid in Organo Gold. Number 1 is retail. So once you become a member and you get involved with what we're doing, you're going to get access to this product at wholesale price. And all we teach is to put 50% markup on that product. Okay, and you can mark that all the way to 500% because we've got people selling it by the cup. Okay, don't overthink this. The retail aspects, you buy low, you sell high, you keep it simple. The demand's out there. People want the coffee, whether you do that through trade shows, through person to person, through home events, charity, whatever. But remember, retail is the foundation. It just makes sense because people are already spending the money on that. Get them to redistribute the money on not only a better tasting product, but one that's got a health component. Just makes sense. The second way to do paid is what's called a fast track commission. So if you start recommending, getting excited, pumped up about what we're doing, like me, then you're going to attract people that want to get involved. Why not? Why would people want to get involved with what we're doing? It makes money and it's fun. Because, so Organo Gold are going to do is they're going to recognize you and reward you for recommending business partners. You're going to have business builders who are looking at this are going to have the option of promotional packages, which you're going to see. They're called bronze, silver, and gold. In the UK, at the minute, you can only come in with the bronze. But what Organo Gold are going to do is they're going to give you a one-off payment for recommending people who come in with those packs. That's going to be paid up to £95, and there's no limit on the number of people you can bring into the business. Okay, the second way to be paid in our compensation plan is what's called the Jewel team. Okay, network marketers who are on the call, this is what's called a binary plan. To break that down simpler, all we're asking you to do is build 2 communities, okay, 2 sales teams, one on the left, one on the right, okay, that's it. And it starts by finding 2 people, okay, 2 people. That's all you've got to find who like coffee, like to make money. Okay, all my friends are like that. And at the end of every single week, Organo Gold will take a scan of your entire organization, all the left sales team, all the right. They will take that scan all the way through infinity, and they will pay you up to 20% of the lesser legs volume. Okay, and the cap to that reaches up to £20,000 per week. Okay, ways 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, are what's called residual income. Okay, all that means is every time you refer someone, whether the wholesale members or business partners, every time they reorder coffee, you are going to be compensated for that reorder. Okay, that means for what work you do at the front end, you'll be paid forever. And when was the last time someone forgot to drink coffee? Okay, this is a true residual product that will never go away. The only real question you've got to ask yourself tonight is, are they going to be drinking your coffee? That is it. So with that said, let me ask you 2 questions how I better relate the compensation plan, because if you've not seen it, you're not always going to understand it. So 2 questions that I ask is, number 1, okay, and write these down and write the answers. Ask yourself these in your head. Do you believe you can change, number 1, do you believe you can change the habit of 10 people in your community, friend circle, whatever, in 30 days who will change their brand to Organo Gold? Okay, we've got people doing that in 2-3 hours. Okay, and what I found, the average customer off me purchases 2 boxes. Okay, the average price per box is £25. Okay, that's going to be £230 profit just from doing that simple action of getting 10 people to switch the brand. Okay, the second question that we ask you is, over 18 months, do you believe you can build a team, a distributor base of 1,000 people? That's not personally, that's collectively. An example of that might be, can you find 10 friends who go and tell 10 of their friends? That's 100 people who go tell 10 of their friends. That's 1,000. Listen, that's just an example. It won't always work like that, but can you find 1,000 people collectively who like coffee and refer and refer products anyway? People are already doing that. So for me, I truly believe anyone can do this. And if you put the calculations together there, you're going to get 10,000 customers. Sorry, you've got your team of 1,000 who have got the 10 customers. That's going to be 10,000 customers within your organization. 10,000. That's going to be 20,000 boxes of coffee going through your business every single month. That's going to create 300,000 in volume. Okay, the residuals part of the pay plan says they'll pay 8 to 12% on that. This is just an example, but that would equate to £20,000 per month in residual product just from people reordering coffee and finding 10 customers. Okay, let's just say I'm 10% right, and you make £2 grand a month. Still big money. Still big money. So for me, it makes perfect sense. Okay, and that's just an example. That's just from people with residual sales. That's not people who go out there network. That's not like people like who I've got on the call today who are starting fast. People like Phil and Helen, people like Ben who see something bigger and run with it. Okay, they see the potential, they see where it's going to go, and they're getting after it because, like I've said already, everything has a starting point. Everything starts somewhere. The latest incentive that we brought out now is the car scheme. I've just qualified for, as you can see here, me signing for it. My Mercedes-Benz that the company paid for, they will pay towards my lease of a car, and then that's in order. Okay, that goes up and up. Every time you hit certain ranks, they're going to give you more money towards a car of your choice. And listen, it's £40 to get started, and that's going to give you access to wholesale purchases. That's going to also enable you to enroll distributors. But if you're serious and you want to work with our team, the way that we're moving, you're going to have to come in what's called a bronze pack. The bronze pack is an extra £130 This is for people who want to move quick. If you start in the coffee business, you're going to require a little bit of product to get started. As I've already said, we're going to find 10 customers. As I've already said, we're going to sample. And we also want you to be using the product. The bronze pack is going to give you £130 worth of product, and it's going to give you up to 10% on your jewel team. The silver pack's £340 extra, okay? And that's going to give you £340 worth of product and up to 15%, okay, on jewel team. And what we want to work towards, the serious people on the call, you who's listening and seeing this, then what we want to work towards is what's called the gold pack. The gold pack, it's an extra £1,050 going to give you that amount in product, but it's going to give you a maximum 20%, up to 20% in your jewel team. That's what I did. That's what the serious people are doing, because you're going to quickly see that you're going to require product to get started. We have a very simple 4-step system. We have a very simple business system to get started, and you're going to quickly see that once you work through that system, you're going to have to use products, okay, whether that's retailing, sampling, wholesaling, or just getting out there and building this brand, because people, once they've tried it, want to know where they get more. And right now, Wave 2 is happening. We've got people like Manny Pacquiao. We've got Super League stars on the call right now. We've got professional boxers. We've got high-level chief executives who are taking a look at this opportunity because it makes sense. You've got people like Greg Norman who's put the name to it. Okay, you've seen now Greg Norman's helped us move along with the launch of the espresso machine. You've now got the pods and the capsules. And that's definitely another way to drink the coffee. And for me, the goal of the business, you see it all the time. Listen, we're not going to capture every single coffee drinker, but the coffee market's that big and that dense that we're looking to capture 1% of the markets that we go into. And if we do that in the European coffee market, which we're a part of, that's going to represent £87 million per month in sales. Okay. The company have a 50-50 split with the distributors. That means that £44 million per month in compensation is going to be paid back to distributors, okay? The only question you've got to ask yourself is, how much of that pot do you want? How much do you want to help build the brand? How much do you want to get amongst what we're doing? Because like water in the desert, people who get there first are going to drink the most. And that's just the way it is in network marketing. I don't care what anyone says. You're looking at this at the right time. It's the right place, and we're definitely looking for the right people right now. And for me, I just want to thank you for taking the time out. I don't want to keep you too long. All I say is, listen, what we're doing is working, okay, and you've got an opportunity here. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? It's performance-driven. You can get rich, don't get me wrong, okay? It's changed my life and people and my pals' lives, but you choose your value. This is real, okay? How to make money is definitely changing, okay? And what my mum and my folks did is not necessarily the way that you can make money now in the 21st century. And with this, you want to think local, build global, share the product, share the opportunity. And for me, you just get it out there. That there is an aspect to the compensation plan. There's an aspect to the business where it does pay to get in at the beginning, okay? You can get what's called first movers advantage, and you're going to get in there. You could have got in before Ben, for example, and Ben's just gone. But remember, the concept's simple. The concept makes sense. What we're doing is working. I hope you were open-minded tonight to what we've got to say. Get a little bit excited, get a little crazy with it. But go back to the person tonight, or Skype me, connect with me, and get your questions answered. Listen, you'll eat worst case scenario. Use the product, okay? That's the worst case scenario, but this will be a household name. What we're doing is working, and history tends to repeat itself. You've seen it with other companies. Organo Gold will be a household name. So guys, appreciate the time. Get your questions answered, and I'll see you guys real soon.